Hey, it's Trader Tim from EminiMind, and it's Thursday, February 1st, and I want to do a trade recap video for today and really talk about how you can stay out of the chop and find good trades when we are, kind of moving sideways to an extent, but have like smaller trends throughout the morning. If you're day trading, it doesn't really matter what the overall trend of the day is. Like, I don't feel like I ever focus on only trading long if the daily chart is up, or vice versa, only trading short if the daily chart's down. Because you can catch, there could be a 30-minute uptrend, a 30-minute downtrend. You can capitalize on those smaller moves if you're trading intraday. So that's the benefit of intraday trading. But you can see on this is a 15-minute chart on the ES, and I've got the high and low of the first 30 minutes marked. And look at how we trade below that first 30 minutes by just a few ticks or a point, and then a couple of points above it, back down, a couple of points below it, and then we're now trading above it, rallying into the close. Well, what's important is to stay out of the middle of this range, and I find that 30-minute mark, putting the high and low, like physically putting those horizontal lines on my chart, are really, really helpful. For those of you who've seen any of my other videos, you know that I keep my chart super clean. This is my setup here. I don't have a whole lot of junk and indicators cluttering up the chart, but I do find that 30-minute high and low is super, super helpful. And so let's go down to a smaller time frame. You can see it even more this morning, establishing that first 30-minute range and then trading below it, and then trading above it, kind of coming back down part way, trading back above it, just all over the place. But within this, first 90 minutes of the day, first couple hours a day, I mean, you can pretty clearly see these moves that are going, small downtrend, small uptrend, top of the range to the bottom of the range, bottom of the range to the top of the range, 2/3 of the way down, and then come back to the top, and then top of the range, back to the bottom of the range. So I had three retracement trades today that I want to talk about, and some pretty good ones actually. When we get through the Fed meeting yesterday, the Fed Wednesday, every 6 weeks they do the meeting announcement, hold the meeting, and then do the announcement. We're usually in for much better trading, and even though we were fairly range bound as far as the morning goes, like from where we opened to a couple hours in, we were basically the same price. Overall, that trend was sideways, but there were trends within that day here that yielded some good moves. So a couple patterns that I really, really like: double tops and double bottoms, and we did have one of those down here. But before that, the first trade of the day was a short. And so the first thing I like to do after we establish like 15 minutes of trade is start by drawing up the full halfway back of the day. In this case, it was a long because the lowest price was earlier. You always want to draw from left to right. So if I start from the left and pick the lowest or highest point, and then go to the right, I'm drawing up a long. So when this broke the 61.8 here, that's when I turned and drew up the first short like this. It's kind of a crossover, but really it's just the high to low halfway back after we broke the full halfway back. And you hear me say a lot, don't trade in the middle of the range. Typically, I don't really have a hard time, but after the first 30 to 40 minutes, that's when you need the first 30 minutes to go by to establish the first 30-minute range. So in the first 30 or 40 minutes, I'm okay taking some stabs at the kind of the midpoint here. Like, this is the very first halfway back of the day that broke, and so taking the first short is early enough in the potential trend that we could still go from a choppy first 20, 25 minutes into a stronger trend. So, but after about 30, 40 minutes, then I really want to stay out of the middle of the range and only trade the top and bottom of the range. So today had a little bit of everything. This was the first short, and so just using 48.90 and a quarter, and then got in on this push. It sold off a little bit and then came up again and then rolled over. And then once we came down and broke the swing low, I just draw up the next retracement like this, and then start trailing my stop behind the next 61.8, and then doing that again. I actually got ticked out right here. I had my stop at 75 right at the high here, or 87 and a quarter rather, and it came and took me out right to the tick before this next leg down. But that was still good for, 3-point first target plus plus another leg down from there. And then, whoops, from there, then we came down, we had some news at the top of the hour, and then we formed this nice double bottom right after the news announcement. Came up, broke this little swing high in the middle, and I was quick to draw up the first 30-minute range low marker, and that kind of lined up right here in between the 50 and the 61.8. And so this 48.83 was the second one. This was a long, and then doing the same process. Once we take out the swing high, I've got a 3-point first target out there, but once we break the swing high, then I can come in, draw up the next retracement, and just kind of keep taking the anchor point to new highs. And then also want to keep an eye on the full halfway back, which was broken pretty easily. We didn't even stop through here. So just drawing up the next retracement, letting it pull back, stop below the 61.8. And then on this next push up, rather than drawing the next 61.8 like this, I just came in because we started ripping really fast and we were approaching the top of the 30-minute range. I just came in here and started trailing each candle as best I could. Sometimes like I'm a candle behind, because I'm just moving my order up as fast as I can as these candles are forming. And I got taken out right up here. And so that one was good for the 3-point first target plus about 12 points on that leg up, or that run up. And you'll notice we went from the bottom of the range, bottom of the 30-minute range, to the top of the 30-minute range. And that's always the goal when you're trading outside of it, outside of the 30-minute range, in this case below, and you come back into the 30-minute range. You want to try and get to the other end of the range. You don't need to set a fixed target there, but giving your trade a little bit of room at the start, not tightening your stop too quickly. That's why I wait for the swing high to break, and then I can come in and start trailing my stop. So rather than get super aggressive right here with trailing each candle, that would still be a nice move, but knowing that, okay, that's about the halfway point, and during that run-up, we quickly broke the halfway back short of the day, so definitely kind of shooting for the top of the range, and then I can come in and get more aggressive with that trail stop. So that was a nice run. And then the third, then right at the top, this one time a double top, and that retracement lined up beautifully with the swing low here in between the double top. We kind of lined up right with the top of the 30-minute range, and then this one, it sold off, and then it came back up and made like a triple top here. So I took this first short 95, and then same process, draw up the next retracement. I did not get filled here. This was exactly 3 points. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's just first in, first out, so we joke and call that a magic fill if price just touches your order. But this time, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I think it filled there, but I was able to bring my stop down and come away with half a point, basically a scratch trade. And you see how quickly those trades break and get momentum. You're getting into the 50% is great because you're using limit orders. Makes it very easy to get your orders out there ahead of time, and then quickly within the next 30 seconds we're starting to roll over. So you could come in then the next time and try and get short again, but I didn't. I just called it quits there. That was a nice. I was very pleased with the day, given we traded below the 30-minute range, above it, back down to the middle point. That would be over here. So just kind of taking what I have, not getting overly greedy, and walking away. So nice to get some momentum here. There was a very small hammer later in the day here that really didn't get much momentum, but I just wanted to point it out because it was a hammer at the bottom of the 30-minute low, and so it was very small, only 2 points. But other than that, not a whole lot that I saw on the 1-minute chart, and that's really all I saw for today. The daily chart here really hanging out up at this large negative 23% target from from way down here, 40.67, and then I drew up on the daily chart the next retracement, and I would expect, we're about to close here in another 20 minutes plus 15 minutes for the settlement, and at this point we're kind of an inside day. If we can move down a little bit further to like 48.50, maybe even down closer to the 61.8 where these prior highs are, that would be, a decent size pullback for kind of the straight up move that we had. But keep in mind, if you go out to the weekly chart, look at how, we're up at the negative 23 from this 50%. So some good day trading opportunities here today, and I expect that to continue as we get into next week. So if you have questions, you can drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon.